What's up, guys? I want to tell you something real quick. So, if you're ever on your way through Kansas and you happen to get a ticket of any sort, be very aware and be very wary of, number one, this is what happened. Okay, so I was driving through Kansas in my personal vehicle. I get pulled over by highway patrol. Okay, he gives me a ticket. My registration or license plates had expired. He said, I don't have registration. I said, well, how do you know my name from my license plate? He said, because of your registration. I said, yeah, I have registration. So then we went in circles about that, and he ended up writing me a ticket for an expired registration. Long story short, I have a commercial driver's license. I have a CDL. So I deal with the court in that county. I just thought that it would be a simple fine. I'm out the door and all that. No, they charged me with a misdemeanor for expired registration, which the registration is in Missouri. Kansas charges you a misdemeanor for Missouri's registration. So now, today, I call the court and I say, hey, I want to go ahead and pay my fine, which is $228. And she's like, well, you can't pay your fine over the phone. You got to go to the website. Well, hey, I could figure some things out, but I could not figure out their website. All right, so it had all the different counties of Kansas on one website, and it didn't have like a portal or a link or whatever to go to their website to pay their fine in that particular jurisdiction and all that other stuff, and I couldn't figure it out. I called lady back. So I say, hey, can I just mail you all a check to your address? And then she's like, well, yeah, you could do that. You could put the case number and stuff on there and your name and all the other stuff and the information so we can figure it out. I'm like, all right, now let me get this amount right. It's $228. She's like, nah, it's $258. I said, why is it $258? And she said, well, the judge charged you $250 for it and then $8. And I said, the fine was supposed to be $228. That's what the clerk said. That's the normal fine. So I'm getting fined extra. And she's like, no, that's what the judge said. It was $250 and $8 for court cost. And I'm like, he's charging me more for this. And so then, now I got to pay $258 for a $228 ticket. And I said, I want to talk to the judge. And she's like, I'm not allowed to give out his phone number. And then I said, well, doesn't he work for the people? And it was crickets. She didn't say anything. I said, hello? And then she said, yeah, I'm still here. I said, I asked you a question. Doesn't he work for the people? And then she's like, yes. And I said, is he an elected? I can't say the word correctly because I'm pissed off. Official? And she's like, yes. And then I said, well, an elected official, a person can't talk to them. She's like, yeah, you could talk to him, but only in court. I said, so, I could call my congressman and speak to him, but I can't speak to a judge. She's like, yeah. And I said, this doesn't make any sense. So what you all did, you charged me more for a ticket, and now I got to go jump through all these hoops to pay you all. And now I have a misdemeanor on my record for a traffic infraction. This is ridiculous. So that's the times that we live in. So needless to say, the follow-up on a ticket is crucial, is what I found. Okay, so I'm going to pay this through the mail, and I'm going to pay it with a check. Okay? So then I'm going to give it a allotted amount of time to get there, to get processed and everything else. I'm going to make sure the check clears. Then I'm going to call them back and I'm going to ask them, have they made a notation in their records that this is paid? And then I'm going to find out if it was paid, because let me tell you what happened to me once before. I got a ticket in Missouri for a taillight out, okay? It was a $50 fine. I went and paid the fine to the courthouse, took cash in there, paid the fine, la-da-da, I'm out, all right? About a couple weeks later, I get pulled over, and I can't remember what for. It was 20 years ago. But a cop pulls me over, and then he said, well, I got a warrant for your arrest. I said, for what? He said, not paying a taillight ticket. And I'm like, dude, I paid the ticket. I got the receipt on my entertainment center at home. And he's like, well, I can't let you drive that half mile home to get the receipt to show me. So I'm going to have to arrest you. I got arrested in front of my kids, took into jail. I had to bond out. The bond was $55. Okay? So then I'm furious. All right, I go back down there on Monday, the next Monday, and I tell them, hey, I paid this. I got falsely arrested. And then they're like, oh, well, it was a miscue on our part. So I said, what about my $55? They're like, oh, that's lost because you bonded out instead of going to jail. I said, this is about the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Well, long story short, I saw on the news that the person at the courthouse got arrested for embezzlement. She stole that $50. It wasn't short after I got arrested. So needless to say, I was one of the people inadvertently got her dumbass arrested for stealing from the court. So the moral of the story, I said all this to say this: follow up if you ever get a ticket, and make sure that the dumbasses don't take and issue a warrant, even if you paid the fine. Do all your follow-up. Make sure, and if you can, write them a check to where you, in your account, have proof, and get as much proof as possible, because you cannot trust the courts. You all get out there and make some damn money, and definitely stay out of jail.